Oh, good morning. We
Mm,
are here. Are you here? We're here.
yeah.
Welcome into the show, the Unbreakable Wisdom Show. This is Noelle and Tracy, and we are here. And um, this morning we're going to talk about having a routine, setting your day, starting your day with some kind of a routine that works for you and ending your day. Darren Hardy calls it bookending your days. It's something that I recommend to all of the clients that I work with, whether it's business clients or, excuse me, personal clients. And we're also going to talk about shifting your mentality around about when situations occur that are seemingly unfavorable. So I guess we'll just jump right in. Also, uh, make sure that you tune into the show on August 23rd, on Saturday, August 23rd, which is the Saturday before my 57th birthday, which is the 25th. And Tracy and I will have a big announcement for you. So make sure that you note your calendar and join us on August 23rd. Because if you're here, you'll get a special code for something and you will get a little gift, something that you can download. So here's what happens when you just wake up in the morning, you hit the floor, and then you're just at the mercy of whatever comes at you. You are not in a peaceful place, right? I actually had several clients this week that were just unable to feel like they could get grounded. They were feeling very like burnt out, overwhelmed, up against it, anxious. My first question to them, because they're longtime clients, was how's it going with your morning routine? And I'm not doing it. Okay, well, there's the first part of the problem. So your this morning routine, and I'll let Tracy add her commentary here. This morning routine can look any way that you want it. So it could be as simple as you get up, you set some intentions for the day, you write them down, you have a cup of coffee or your morning beverage by yourself, you take 6 deep breaths, you go put your feet on the ground outside, and you do a yoga stretch. Like, seriously, it could be anything. It could be that you do prayer work. It could be that you read something that matters to you, some kind of devotional, some kind of book that inspires you. It could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be listening to something, it could be watching something, it could be writing in your gratitude journal, it could be doing your affirmations, it could be looking at your vision book. It's whatever works for you. So this isn't about telling you what you should do. This is about telling you that in order for you to maintain your peace, because we know that your personal power comes from you being able to maintain your peace and your poise, right? And that's where your power comes from. So when you don't have your poise or your peace, you are at the mercy of whatever's coming at you throughout the day. Different from starting the day and feeling very grounded and setting your intentions for the day and thinking about the day and having some kind of framework for how you're going to show up inside the day, and then ending your day with that same kind of practice, thinking about what happened that day, jotting a couple of gratitudes for the things that worked out, perhaps jotting a couple notes for intentions for the next day. Different than scrolling on other people's business until you go to sleep, with, when you're just at the mercy of whatever the news is on your feed. So this is all about you being able to pull in, take that pause, get yourself ready for the day. It's just like if you were a sports person, you wouldn't go into a big game without training. And so this is like your bookending your days is your training for your day. Because when you're solid at the beginning of the day and you're solid at the end of the day, you can handle better what happens inside the day. When you're not solid at the beginning and you're not solid at the end, the whole thing is like this, with nothing to hold it. So imagine that, like, every day you're building the foundation for your day inside of an energetic and mental construct, right? And just like I say, you wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. When I tell you you need a blueprint for your life, this is the same thing. We're just breaking it down into a day. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. So why do you want to go into a day when time is your most precious resource? Why do you want to go into a day with no grounding and no intention and no plan? I know personally, I've been doing a morning routine for 25 years now. And I know that, so I have a mini version, which is like I'm in a hurry and, I don't leave the house or get started before these four things happen. Or I have a longer version, which I prefer, which takes about an hour and a half. But if I am not, if I have an early morning appointment or whatever, the little mini version takes about 30 minutes. And it could take 5 minutes for you. It's whatever. If you have little kids and you have short time, like it is whatever works for you. It is just that to build a life that is made up of what you want rather than what you're settling for, or rather than what you just get served up, you have to be intentional about that, and you have to use your tools. Go ahead, Trace.
So on the days that I don't have exercise, every day, the first thing I do is make my bed, go into the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, put on my makeup, fix my hair, turn on the water for the coffee. And then once the coffee's done, I start my devotionals. I have prayer time. I have quiet time. I have a prayer call every day, Monday through Friday with Noel. So we hold each other accountable. We pray together. It just really starts the day with empowerment and precision. I have pieces of paper throughout my house with whether it's scripture or a prayer that I've written or an intention that I've written, so that no matter where I am, if I'm having a moment, I don't have to go look for it. I don't have to go look for my book and open it. There is something in every room that if at any moment I have something to read. If I'm standing there putting on my jewelry, I'm reading my prayer. If I'm standing there putting
Yeah.
on my makeup, I'm reading my prayer. And then I also have a podcast that I listen to that's pastors and preachers and empowerment motivational podcasts, and they're anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And while I'm doing something, I will have that on, or I have on in the morning, I'll put on quiet music. I don't put on the TV. I don't put on jammy
Right.
crazy music. I put on quiet music so that it just keeps the space and reverence. And yeah, I just really surround myself with a space
But
of,
so how does that benefit? Like, tell us how that benefits.
yeah,
How does doing that versus not doing that? Like, what do you see the differences between
yeah,
having that and not having that in your
yeah.
day?
When I walk out the door, it's here, right? It's here. It's in me. Not much outside of me that can wreck my day, because I've started in a space of, yeah, I keep using the word empowerment, but self motivation
Right.
and clarity. Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's amazing.
Clarity, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really the thing.
amazing.
Intention. I
And
mean, for
peace.
Tracy and us, we're both God girls, so that's kind of, that's a part of our go-to in the morning. We're not saying that you should do that. What we're saying is you figure out what it is for you. What brings you, it could be
Peace.
balancing your chakras. It could be there's an 11-minute YouTube meditation that I like that's just a sound bath of balancing like it could be anything.
Yep.
Whatever works for you.
Yep.
When you don't have that intentionality for beginning and ending the day, it's as important at the end, because that's how you go into your, unconscious sleep
Hmm.
cycle.
Hmm.
And when you go in there, let's just say you're scrolling and I don't know, looking at whatever the hell is going on in the craziness of like Facebook and Instagram or something, and that's how you're going to bed, or you're watching, I don't know, whatever you might watch, and that's how you're going to bed, taking that even 10 minutes, 5 minutes before you actually shut off the light and go to sleep, to have some kind of recognition of like, oh, I'm grateful for this today, or that happened today, or that's cool. Or, I want this to happen, or I want that to happen tomorrow, or I'm, you know, grateful in advance that this is all going to turn out, or I'm giving this, to the universe to handle, or whatever it is. Um,
And to have someone to share that too with,
yeah,
that really helps too, because then when I vocalize things, sometimes it really helps me. It's like my thought process. I'm like, oh, okay, I could have done that this way, or oh, that was really, like you just said, oh, that was a really good thing, or but to be able to
yeah,
vocalize, if you like, I don't journal at the end of the day, but to be able to speak it out with
yeah,
somebody in conversation is really helpful, and to just be in the mindset of love and reverence and appreciation, like you said, with gratitude, right? It's really important to be in that space rather than having that negative, wah, wah, it didn't go the way I wanted it
right,
to. Or there's
right, right, right,
blessings
right.
in everything, right? There's blessings in everything. Yeah.
So that actually leads us to the second topic that we wanted to talk about, like when Tracy just said, why did it go this way? So we'll just put a pin in that for 1 second. Here's the value of, I talk to you guys a lot about responding versus reacting, and how there's no power in a reaction, that at the point to which you are emotionally activated or reactivated, you are literally like a ping pong ball going back and forth across the table, and nothing good is happening in there, because there's no intentionality or stability or anything. There's just emotion, and it is just reaction, right? So when you're able to start your day with intent and end your day with intent, you are able to better manage yourself in the day, so that when something happens, you can choose to respond to it versus react to it. And you are much better able to respond when you are coming from a place of peace and personal grounding and power. And you are much more able to do that when you start your day with intent. So it is like these are the building blocks of a successful day, which leads to a successful week, which leads to a successful month, and so on, right? So here on the show for the last 11 years, we've been giving you the tools, and we'll continue to do that, on how to actually construct for yourself a life that is what you want it to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And sometimes things, like Tracy just said, at the end of the day, you might say, wow, that didn't go the way I wanted it to, or wow, that happened and it wasn't what I expected. So let's talk about that, because we know that we cannot control what is happening out there. And we also know that we can control very much what's happening right here. Okay. So if you are able to look at a situation and change your mentality and switch your mentality into, what is this trying to teach me, or what is this trying to show me, or what's the possibility in this, or what is the available lesson here, instead of why did this happen to me, you know um instead of being a victim, instead of feeling persecuted by the circumstance,
Uh,
instead of being depleted and disempowered by the
yeah.
circumstance. You have the authority and the ability to choose in every moment how you frame something, what you think about something, and how you respond to something. So, what is this trying to teach me? Or what is the opportunity in this? Or what is this here to show me? Um, what lesson is there for me to see so that I can move this along? Those are all really valuable questions, and they are come from your curiosity, right? So instead of, when things slam into you, instead of deciding to be offended or harmed or persecuted or angry or whatever, you could pull yourself back just a bit and get curious. Wow, how come this showed up? What's going on here? How did I bring this? Or how have I been being that this is what I attracted? Or, um, yeah, Trace, go ahead.
When things, I had it off, my mic off. When something keeps showing up again and again and again, you're like, what the heck? What? That then that's over here. That's not. Oh, let's say you have friends that act a certain way. Oh my gosh, these I keep attracting friends that act a certain way. Well, it's not that friend and that friend and that friend. Who's the common denominator? It's you. And I find for me, whenever I'm working through a situation, it's usually based on forgiveness of myself. Like if
Right.
I'm
Yes.
judging outwardly, it helps me see
Yes.
where am I
Yes.
judging
Yes.
me, because it's always me. It's always my it's
Yep.
mine. So I can't I can't make it about that person, because I choose not to be a victim. I choose to be victorious. And so how can I get beyond this? Well, what's happening inside of me that's making this occur or making me feel this way, whatever. So that's where I look internally, and I have self-love, and I have forgiveness, and I release, I let go, and I move through. And if it shows up again, I bring love, I bring forgiveness, I release.
Right.
It's just constant looking, like I wrote a post the other day about getting out of our own way. Like, you have to get out of your own way. You got to shut down the ego, look at your heart,
Yep.
see what's out of alignment, and correct it. And so that's
Yep.
what happens with me when something shows up that I don't like. I have to just, how, like you said, how am I going to respond to this?
Right. And let's turn that on to like when people show up that we
Yeah,
have a hard time with.
yeah,
I've been taught for 50 odd years now, since I was 7, that, when something shows up in someone that I'm judging, criticizing, or hating, or disliking, it is something that I don't like about myself. Somehow it's that part of me
yes,
that's showcasing itself in this person in a very obnoxious manner often, and I'm like,
mhm,
oh wow, okay, like let me take a look at that, let me take a look at that.
yep,
Um and Janet saying she saw your post and it was awesome. And there's just such an opportunity, if we approach things with curiosity and
that's good, that's good.
as a possibilist, and which means we're looking for the possibility in there and we're looking for the opportunity in there. um Tracy and I are metaphysicians, right? So that's who we are at the core, and then we're business people and we're all the other things. And what a metaphysician is like, that the world is not just what it appears to be, it also has a spiritual and energetic component.
Hmm.
And so what you do with, as a metaphysician, is you look at the whole piece.
Yep,
So when someone comes to us with a problem, we're not just looking at what we can see, like, oh, that didn't fit into that box. What's wrong with that? Do we need to cut the box? Do we need to, oh, no, we're like, okay, what else is going on here?
yep, yep.
Like, when someone comes to me with a money difficulty for their life or their business, I'm like, okay, money is never the problem. That
Yeah,
is never the issue. Let's start digging in. And then we find that they have a lot of resentments they're carrying around, or they're living in, disarray. They have clutter and they have, whatever, right? Or they walk around criticizing everyone, or, there's always, money is never the problem is never the money.
yep.
um
Attitude about.
and it's,
Hmm.
yeah, so in that respect, and so if you can move yourself, we talk a lot about moving yourself emotionally. If you can move yourself into curiosity, that is an excellent place to be. Because when you're curious, you're asking questions and you're seeking to understand. And that is different than just shutting something down because you don't like it. If you have an aversion to a person, place, or thing, there's a reason for that. Like, why? And then get curious. Is this trauma drama, right? From the past? Is this some part of myself that I don't like? You know, is this me accepting something that's unacceptable? Um, you have to get curious. you can move a lot of things around from curiosity.
Yeah, the way that you were brought up, the stories that you continue to tell people about why you do a certain thing, it can look different. I can share a quick story.
Yeah, please.
So in my first marriage, it was a certain way. It was this way. It was this way, and the conversations were like this. It was explosive. It wasn't just, it was just a certain way. And
I remember.
I thought, oh, okay, well, I can walk away from this. This is a you problem. You need to fix your attitude, and I'll be back. But
Yeah.
that became the norm. And I was over a friend's house, and we were waiting to go out, and her husband was late coming home because he got in an accident in the parking lot. And when he came home, the way they interacted was this beautiful embrace. This, are you okay? What can we do? How can we? Oh, it was so. I was waiting for the and it was so beautiful. That opened the door for me to understand, oh, it can look like that. And
Right.
then it changed my mindset, and it changed the way that I communicated with my husband at the time. And eventually we got divorced because he could not embrace that. He was so used to being this explosive, this drama, chaos, and I wanted to go like this to it. I wanted to
Right.
forgive and love, and but I'm
Right.
telling you, until I was at my friend's house, that epiphany moment of how it could look like that. So
Yep.
it's good to be in the curiosity, because then you learn new ways.
Right.
You talk to people. You say, "How would you have done that? How did you
Right.
do that?" And then you can't get mad. Like I always say, you can't get mad at the Chinese restaurant if they won't make you pizza. Like
Right.
you can't. So if if you're in a situation where it's just not, well, then maybe it's time to walk away. You go, okay, well,
Right.
I'm getting mad at the restaurant. Like I'm expecting something that's impossible. Well, so with my
Right.
husband at the time, it was impossible, and it just, after years and years of working on it, I finally said, okay, I got to go, because I want my life to be glorious, right? Yeah.
Right. Werner Erhard says, what is, and what isn't.
Oh, good.
And,
Mm,
and that's just the truth. Like sometimes you can make a difference in a situation, and sometimes the difference that you can make is to extract yourself from the situation. So, there are some things that are lessons that are meant for us to transform what we're sitting in the middle of.
mm,
And then there are other things where the transformation for us is actually to complete that
yeah.
cycle and get away from it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so what wisdom, what unbreakable, the reason that I trademarked this name and the brand, and the reason that the Prosperity School is called that, and the show is called that, and the work that I'm doing with people is now called that, is because there are some components of unbreakable wisdom that will hold up over time. Like truth is an unbreakable wisdom. And there are just certain things that will hold up over time, no matter what is presented, no matter what is true or not true. There are pieces of wisdom that will always be the truth. And one of those things is to know the wisdom between, do I sit here and work on this, or do I go away from this? And that's a wisdom that we all actually already have. And part of my job in the world is to help you uncover that wisdom in yourself. Like my job, my mission is to help you recognize your own unbreakable wisdom inside yourself, and to let that be the leader of your life,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Let that be the discernment that you require, because the mm, the sauce that you think you need, you already have it.
Yeah.
The thing that you think that someone else can tell you that's going to be the answer, you already have it. And sometimes there's an uncovering that we have to go through to get you there.
Yep.
And sometimes there's discipline and commitment and consistency that you must enable and enact to get you there. So all of those, there's all of those pieces, right?
Yeah.
And the truth, though, is that you are the one that knows the truth for you,
Mhm.
and you are the one that is in charge of your life, and you are the one that is directing the show. And my job, and Tracy helps me with this on the show, like our job here is to direct you back to
Mhm.
yourself and to show you how to, you know, get the flashlight and look for your power because it's there.
Mhm, mhm, 'cause
And this is, yeah, please.
so the other really important piece is, what do we call them? Childhood wounds, right? It's the way we were brought up. Things happen to us, situations,
Trauma drama is my
trauma,
new
drama. To
is
not
my
do
new is
that,
my new
to
phrase
not
for all
right
that.
to not be stuck in this space
No.
that occurred however long ago. That's not who we are today. And to know that, to have worth, right? That's where I talked about the forgiveness, to have self-forgiveness, so then we can identify with our self-worth, so that we believe and know that we deserve, or we want to live a life like this. Well, we can have the life like this, to release the things that will not bring us there. I mean,
Hmm.
my ex-husband, he's an amazing man, and he had his own childhood wounds, but he just wasn't willing to go and look at it. Because I'm telling you what, when you go and you look at it, stuff's going to come up, things are going to
Yeah.
change, it's going to all shift. People are going to leave your life, situations are going to
Yeah.
leave your life. You're no
Yeah.
longer going to want to live in that neighborhood, let's just say. I mean, it's a
Right.
big thing when you identify it and you go. And that's, I think, a lot of reasons why people, they don't want to go, because they don't want to release the things, because they attach a meaning to it, and that's not what it means today.
Right. Exactly. And this is where we get into that. Maybe we'll talk about this next Saturday. We'll just we'll leave this here so we don't go too far over. But
Yep.
we'll talk about the we'll talk about, all that old stuff, because, that's what people call shadow work,
Mm,
right? Is looking at that shadow side. And it's, sometimes, honestly, oftentimes the idea of looking at it is more scary than actually looking at it.
yes,
Because
yes,
the truth is, if you're working with the right people that can help you move through that,
yes.
and I know because I've done this work, it's a day or two of like releasing like emotion that's stuck and whatever. And yeah, those 2 days or so, I mean, I move through stuff really fast. So maybe for other people, it's a month or a week or
Sure,
whatever it is, though.
sure.
But it's like, yeah, but it's a means to an end, right? Like, you can't live your present life dragging all these
Ah,
sacks and bags from the past. Like,
ah,
pretty soon you're not going to be able to walk forward. I
right,
mean,
right,
right?
right. Yep,
So we'll
yep.
continue to we'll continue this conversation next Saturday.
It's good.
What I'd love for you all to do is just start to think about, when something shows itself that is something that you're not in love with, like you don't love what's presenting, start getting curious. Why is this showing up? What does it have to teach me? What can I learn from this? How can I use this to empower me instead of feeling defeated by it? What is my opportunity here? Remember that you are the author of the story, and you get to say, like,
Yep.
whatever presents itself to you every day, you get to decide whether that constitutes a good day or a bad day.
Mm,
You get to decide whether you're going to be empowered by what's presenting or defeated, whether you're a victor or a victim. Like, this is all your choice. You get to decide these things.
that's good.
So we leave you with that. So think about, get
Yes.
curious in your own life about why certain things. Look for patterns. Are there patterns? Am I always attracting this type of situation? Am I always attracting this type of friend, this type of
Mate.
partner,
Mm,
mate?
yep. Dog.
Am I always going to the same, do I go to the same place and I don't really like it there? Why do I keep going there?
Yeah.
When I go into this place, do I feel energized or depleted? If
Mm-hmm.
I feel depleted, why do I keep going back?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, get curious.
It's good.
Curiosity is a very powerful place to be.
And
And
bookending
we
it.
will, yeah, go ahead.
Bookend. Yep.
Yes. And put some kind of a practice in place for your morning and your night. It will make a huge difference, even if it's just 10 minutes.
Yep.
And we will see you next Saturday. Have a great
Saturday.
week, you guys. All right.